Hi everybody, it's Ann Bordelot, the Spiritual Energy Chef. And a lot of you have been asking about toxic relationships and how to get around those or get away from toxic relationships. I'm also going to include energy vampires in this as well because they're also part of the toxic relationships. So some of you may not like what I have to say, so I'm just prefacing that right now. Because in terms of toxic relationships, it really all starts with us, with our own inner selves, and I'm going to explain why. Because if you've watched the Energy 101 video, then you understand a little bit more about how the energy works. So going back to one of the things that I talked about there in terms of your energy vibration, where everything is energy and everything just vibrates on a different frequency. So for instance, this granite table right here is going, much slower and appears to be, at a complete standstill, whereas myself as a human, I'm vibrating on a higher level. So what happens is, if you are being troubled by toxic relationships, then your energy is matching that of the other person. So let's take a look at why those things happen. Because a lot of it has to do with that karmic circle where, whatever you're putting out there is what you're getting back. So that's why I say that it all starts with you. What kind of energy are you putting out there? Sometimes, it can't be helped that, and there are going to be people, toxic people that come in and out of your life, but how long they stay really is up to you. So let's start with what is it about that toxic person that really is a trigger for you? What kind of emotion is coming up? And chances are it's something that you may be having struggled with, whether a recent struggle or whether it's something that you struggled with for years. So what is it about them that really eats at you that makes that a toxic relationship? So that's an excellent place to start. And so what is that energy that you're putting out there towards them? For instance, if you're always gossiping amongst family members or friends about that other person and being judgmental, then that's the energy that you're putting out there. So that's the energy that's coming back. There's that old saying where I'm the rubber and you're the glue. What you say bounces off me and sticks to you. Well, that's kind of the effect that that's happening here. So you're increasing that toxic relationship. You're increasing that conflict by whatever it is that you're putting out there. I know that it's very difficult. I am not without toxic relationships in my own life and in my own family. And it is a challenge in order to be able to do that, especially if it's family members that you love and, you want to see them change and do better. But here's the thing. We have to take care of ourselves. And you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So everybody has to be in charge of their own energy and their own lives. And it's a matter of being there and maybe being more in observer mode in order to be able to really take a look at what's going on, looking at it from a bigger picture and standing away from your own ego and your own perspective. Because the other question to ask is, how am I enabling that person? Is it something that, I'm trying to help, and as many conversations as I have or as many things that I do to try and help this person, I still feel like I'm getting nowhere. So that's enabling them. By helping them or trying to be there for them is wonderful. It's very altruistic, but it's not realistic. Because you want to make sure that you're giving people opportunities to fail, because we don't learn anything if we don't fail. We have to be able to fail in order to be able to grow. So that's one of the things that I would take a look at is, first of all, what kind of energy are you putting out there? What kind of role does this particular person or these persons play in your immediate circle? And what kind of role do you play in participating in all of that negative energy, that toxic energy? Are you constantly reaching up for people that are at a higher vibration in order to be able to move yourself forward, or are you constantly reaching down and dealing with those toxic people? At what point are you going to say, okay, you know what, you need to work on this yourself. I've done everything that I can, and I need to be able to take care of myself, and I can't do that effectively by keep reaching down and helping you as well. That maybe that sounds mean, but like I said, at some point, you have to make that decision. You have to have set those boundaries. And to be honest, if you're constantly reaching down and it's at your own expense of your own self-care and your own self-respect, so if you're not, that in other words, if you're not respecting yourself and your own boundaries, why would you expect somebody else to respect you in that manner? So the other thing to consider is dig a little bit deeper. Also, being from observer mode, I'm a big proponent of looking at things from a bigger picture and looking at it from observer mode. So what is it, we already talked about what is it about that person that triggers you, but what's going on for them? What has happened in their lifetime that has created what they are right now? And what are they dealing with? Do they have medications that maybe they're on, and maybe the medications are affecting, how they function on a daily basis? How were they raised? Were they raised with a family that was very loving and supportive, or were they raised in a family that had absolutely no love at all and they were just totally neglected? And so that's, again, by treating others, that's how you want to be treated, that's what you're going to put out there. So if they were raised in a home that had no love, that's what they're going to be putting out there because that's what they know. The other thing is, what kind of outside influences do they have? What's in their immediate environment? What do they do for work? Who do they hang around with? Those are all outside influences that are going to either help them to learn and grow, or it's going to keep them in the same position that they're in and allow them to continue to wallow in whatever misery that they've created for themselves. So my biggest thing is to be able to look at these toxic relationships and change your attitude. And I know that it's really difficult, and I know that, to be able to send some love and compassion to people that are just really grating on your nerves and that you really don't want to be around, it's a ripple effect, right? So if you start changing yourself, then you change your whole energy about you, and that creates the ripple effect within your family, within your social circle, or within anybody that's within your inner circle, because you are all connected through energy. So all the good things that you do for yourself, that energy travels through all of those energy cords, through all of your relationships. So to be honest, if you really want to change those toxic relationships, start by changing yourself. Take a look in the mirror, and again, look at what that person is triggering in you. What is it that you have squelched down, that you have not wanted to deal with, that now it's at the boiling point where your inner self and your team of guides are saying, okay, hey, we're in your face now because you really need to look at this. And it's time to get rid of it. It's time to make some positive changes, and let's go, because you need to step up and be more on purpose and figuring out what those next steps are to get on your purpose. And if you're always focusing your energy here on these toxic people and those toxic relationships, then your energy is not being focused on your goal. And so look at it this way. You have that goal in mind, whether it not be a new job, whether it be a new home, or just to move or to travel or do something. You have this goal that's way out here. That's your light at the end of the tunnel. Anything that happens in between, and there are going to be obstacles and challenges, it's you. Those are the things that are trying to block you from getting to your goal. So it's not a matter of how you're going to get there. It's just a matter of keep moving forward and being able to get there. So being able to look beyond those challenges, recognizing them for what they are, and saying, hey, you know what? Okay, this challenge is coming up for me right now, and I understand why. That means that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I am moving forward, and this is coming up because it's trying to block me. So whether it be physical pain, like for me, I get pains in my knees and I know that that's something that I'm on the right track, and because knees are what you need your knees in order to be able to walk and be able to move forward. So I always get pains in my knees. So knowing that, okay, this is just a block and I just need to push through it and continue to move forward. So I know that you've all had different experiences when you've tried to make positive changes in your life. What has come up? How has it come up in a physical manifestation? How has it come up in terms of blocks? It could be easy as going to an appointment with somebody that you finally decide to step out of your comfort zone. You've made an appointment to talk to somebody or to maybe go to an interview for a new job, and every time that as you're traveling there, you're hitting like every single traffic light, or there's an accident on the way, or you're low on gas, or your kids get sick. Those are all indications that that's what you should be doing, and those are all like little obstacles that are trying to keep you from that final goal. And again, don't worry about the how. It's not about the how. The how is going to just automatically appear when you need it. It's about focusing on that goal and keeping that eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep moving forward. So I know that you probably have some additional questions on the toxic relationships. So hopefully this is a start. We'll deem this as a part 1. So go ahead and ask questions, post them in the comments under this video, and then I'll do a follow-up video and answer some of those more in-depth questions. So if any of you have any additional questions and you don't want to post them to the comments, then go ahead and send me a private message either through Facebook or through email. My email address is contact@annbordelot.com. And if you'd like to work with me one-on-one and have some coaching sessions, then reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk to you. We'll set up a half-hour conversation and kind of go from there. So thank you so much for watching today. Love to you all. Bye.